Hey, how's it going everybody? I hope you're all doing great. Welcome to my channel. My name is PJ. Today I'm going to talk to you about a book that truly changed my life, healed my life, helped my life, and it really brought me out of a very dark period of my life. In 2019, in the summertime, for the first time, I kind of struggled with my first, I would say, depression. I've never experienced something like that before in my life, and it was my first major season of depression, and I did not know how to get myself out of it. It was like I was so stuck in apathy and victim mentality and depression, and I just could not shake it no matter what I did. And only people, I feel like, who have really gone through that darkness can help bring us out of it. And the gentleman, the person we're going to talk about today, the author of the book that we're going to talk about today, he really has been through it all, has been through the darkest hells, and has managed to get out of them, and not only just get out of them, but become better as a result of them, which I think is the best use of those dark periods of our lives. David Goggins is the author of the book Can't Hurt Me, and is the person and the book that we're going to talk about today. David Goggins is someone who has truly managed to get out of some very, very, very dark periods. His life has been filled with many, many dark periods, and he's managed to get out of all of them and through all of them and actually become better as a result of them. And when I was going through my dark period, my dark season, I'd say in 2019, and didn't know how to snap out of it, didn't know how to snap out of that victim mentality, that apathy that I was stuck in, I stumbled upon this book after 3 months of just like dwelling in that state. I stumbled upon this book and I gave it a try. And the reason I wanted to even talk about this book today, this is not even a book summary. Usually I would never just try to make a video and try to just recommend a book without trying to summarize it or review it in some shape or form. But I genuinely felt like this book needs to be talked about and needs to be recommended. I just wanted to make this video as an encouragement more than anything else to you to check this book out, because if you are going through that dark season, that dark period, or struggling with feelings of victim mentality or apathy, I genuinely believe that this book can help you. And the reason, for my whole channel is to share things that I believe would be truly helpful. And I felt like sharing about this book and recommending it would be something that would be genuinely helpful. So going back to kind of my own journey with this book, I discovered this book when I was going through that season. And it was like, from literally, like, I've never actually had this experience with a book, I don't think ever. And I've read a lot of books, but literally from the first chapter, I listened to audiobook from the first, which honestly, if you are a fan of audiobooks, this is one of those books that I think is phenomenal in audio form, because after each chapter, there's like a little podcast type of snippet with David Goggins. He's actually not the one narrating it, but I think the narrator does a great job. And David Goggins and the narrator have like a little discussion after each chapter, which those are not found in the physical copy of the book. So I think if you love, YouTube videos, if you love to hear people, and if you love to listen to audiobooks, I do think that listening to the audio version of this book would be awesome. But nonetheless, I was 30 minutes into it and I just could feel like that shift happening within myself. I think someone who's genuinely been through darkness can help get us out of darkness. And I think David Goggins, just like from the first chapter, from the description he was giving of his early childhood in the first chapter and the darkness he was describing, I was just like immediately I was like, bro, like if this guy got out of this, which that was just the first chapter, that was just like the first thing. But it is just many, many more seasons like that for him. But like I was like, if this guy's gotten out of this, like I have no excuse. And it just snapped something, in a good way within me. It snapped me out of that slumber, that like days of depression and just victim mentality that I was stuck in and couldn't shake. This book helped me shake that off. And who is David Goggins? David Goggins is a retired Navy SEAL. He has been through, so basically the training for SEALs training, I think it's called, the hardest part of it is called Hell Week, and he's been through 3 of those. Most people can barely like do 1, but he's been through 3 with broken leg, like all kinds of stuff. He is an ultra marathon runner, or Ironman runner, which are like 100 mile races or even more sometimes. And then like sometimes you even do like, and then you get on a bike after running for 100 miles and then you swim, just like insane stuff. And he's done like so many of those. I think he also holds the record unless someone's broken it for like the most pull-ups in the world. So, you know, just like a plethora of experiences that like would be, you know, just one of those would be enough of like a hellish experience for any of us, you know, and something that would genuinely like toughen you and harden your mind, and as he would say, callous your mind. You know, one of those for any of us would be enough, but he's been through so many of them. But out of those also, he's been through, you know, his childhood that he talks about in the first chapter of the book. He had a very, very, you know, highly abusive father, physical violence, like just like really bad stuff. And that was just like the beginning of his life. Like he literally basically like came into this world and that was like the first thing he was dealing with. So he's really just done it all, you know, he's been through it all. He's been through so many, you know, miserable, like hellish experiences, and has been able to obtain wisdom and gather wisdom and knowledge from all of them and then share them with us. You know, he was talking about how writing that book was like almost like a traumatic experience in and of itself for him, because he had to revisit all those traumas in order to not only share them with the audience, but also share the lessons that he had obtained from those experiences. And so he basically in his mind had to revisit all those just hellish periods in his life. But, you know, every chapter is talking about like one of those hell-like experiences, and then like the lesson he's learned from each. So like I said, you know, he's done it all. He's been through it all. And like I said, this is not like a book summary, and you know, this may end up being the shortest video on my channel, but I really just felt like it's important to make it. It's not a book summary because, you know, I thought about like, what if I just like reread the book and then try to like summarize each chapter. And then I was like, that's not like, to me, like the lessons that he's obtained are not even like what helped me transform necessarily. Like, it was just like something about actually listening to the book or reading the book and the whole of the experience, not just like, oh, here's a summary of this chapter, but like getting the like hearing the whole experience, the whole story is what made this book be transformative for me. So like it didn't even feel right to me to want to say, you know, this was, you know, lesson of chapter 1, and like here's what he learned and here's what I'm sharing with you, because like that wasn't even the part that helped transform me. It was hearing the whole story of his life, the experiences he's been through, and really like not summarizing it, but just actually getting the whole experience. That's what, you know, really helped me transform, because I was like, you know, look at these experiences, look at what he's been through, look at what he's been able to go through and endure and learn from and grow through. And like whatever I'm facing is nothing in comparison, you know? So like, it really, like just the nature, it's like if I was trying to summarize to you a book that's like a story, it's a novel, you know, like the story, the goodness of that book is to read the story, is to really go through that story, read the whole book, read the whole novel. And so it didn't, you know, this is kind of like that because it's really like a biography in a lot of ways. And it didn't feel right for me to try to like share little nuggets or summary, because like I said, that's not what made this book change my life. And so I didn't want to do that. But also, you know, it's not a review of like, oh, he wrote this chapter like this and I gave it like a 5 out of, you know, a 3 out of 5. Like it's not like that. You know, it's just like, this is literally an encouragement to you to go check out this book. That's all this video is. Like I said, it's probably going to end up being the shortest video on my channel, but I just wanted to encourage you. Just wanted to make a recommendation to you and recommend to you this book, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, because this book genuinely and truly changed my life. It got me out of depression. It got me out of victim mentality that I was like entrenched in for a while and couldn't shake. It helped me just get out of that dark period. And for any of you, for some of you who may be going through that dark period now and stumble upon this video, I hope, you know, that it encourages you to go check out that book. That was my entire hope, you know, for this video, that it encourages you, especially if you're going through one of those seasons, to go check out this book, because I do genuinely believe it could help you tremendously, get out of that season. And you know, maybe this book, for some of you, this may just be the one book that genuinely turns your life around. Because like in my life, you know, there's been these, like, I would like read like 20 books, and then there would be that one book that genuinely would turn things around. And like, it's just such a fulfilling, awesome experience when you find that one book. And for some of you who are watching this video, this may be that one book. And maybe, just maybe, for some of you, you know, if you're really going through a deep, dark period, you know, and you're at like your darkest moments, this may be just that one book that saves your life. You know, hopefully none of you are going through such an experience, or are experiencing with something, having an experience with any sort of season like that, or going through anything like that. But I just want to say that because I do genuinely believe this book can change your life and save, you know, some people's life. And I'm sure it already has for many, many people. So I just couldn't recommend it enough. It had to be here. You know, there was one previous time I had recommended this book. You know, I made a whole series. I love the Enneagram. It's like a personality typing system. And I made a book recommendation series for each type on the Enneagram. My personal type is type 9. So in the type 9 book recommendations video that I have on my YouTube channel, I recommended this book a lot on there. So that was like the only other time, but that was, it might have been rare for someone to discover that, because they had to be into the Enneagram, B, that video is super long. So, you know, maybe they didn't even watch the whole video and never got to hear this recommendation. But I just wanted to make a separate book recommendation video just for this book alone, because this book genuinely can really change. I mean, it already has, but it genuinely can change a lot of people's lives who haven't read it yet. So I hope that this encourages you to go check it out. I can't thank David Goggins enough for having done the work of going through these experiences, but also the work of revisiting the experiences and then gathering the knowledge from them and sharing that wisdom with us. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope it was genuinely helpful for you. I hope that if you got any value from this video, that you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me on your homepage in YouTube, please subscribe so that my videos show up in your For You page on YouTube. Thank you. Again, my name is PJ. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care.